Alright, so I found this very interesting video titled The Real Reason You're Quitting WoW. Now, the reason this topic caught my attention is because this is something I used to cover pretty extensively on this channel, and then I just kind of ended up letting it go because I started sprawling into many different MMOs and actually started playing them, and I discovered a whole new world. Basically, World of Warcraft had completely lost its charm over me. I mean, I quit retail in BFA, and from then I was only a Classic player. And then Classic kind of started being the same thing over and over again, right? This never ending loop of the same bosses, the same quests, the same NPC, and unfortunately, the same people. So I kind of ended up dropping it recently too, and I just ended up not talking about this game at all. Now, I really want to make a video about World of Warcraft, and I found this one, so I thought this was a great opportunity. It's only 6 minutes long for some reason, and I have absolutely no idea how you're gonna cover this extensive topic in such a short time span, so it's gonna be very interesting. I'm not gonna say what I have to say just yet. I'm gonna wait for him to speak his piece, and then I'm gonna add my things on top of that. So let's see what he has to say first.
I'm going to tell you something that might upset some people in the world of Warcraft. A lot of
I haven't
players
watched
think
this,
of
by the way.
success in this game as having a 3,000 plus Raider IO score or a Gladiator mount or
Yep.
topping the
It's true.
meters,
The game has
in
become
a
extremely
boss
competitive.
fight. They're not wrong.
It
All
is.
of those are
It
great
became extremely
achievements
competitive, yeah.
and can be very difficult to attain. But the truth is that many of those players worry more about how other people are playing and use that to measure their worth. And that's where
True.
they fail. We get trapped in this mind.
But you can't blame it on a player. It's Blizzard's fault for cultivating this entire climate. They cultivated this type of players because they cater to the one percenters. And when you cater to the one percenters, you are bound to fail. And that's why I always say that Ashes of Creation is going to fail on launch because they cater to the one percenters of hardcore PvP player, and nobody is like that in real life. Nobody. You always need to aim to the 70 and 80% of players in the middle rather than the 1% at the top or the bottom. You can't make a game too casual, but you can't make it too competitive, right? Unless it's in a contained environment like CSGO and all that stuff, and I think that's fine. But World of Warcraft and MMOs in general aren't built like that. They're built off of people that have, I'd say on average, 3 hours to play, and these are the majority of the players you're gonna get. People who wanna immerse themselves in a video game. It's not a highly competitive game. You can turn it into an esport. And Blizzard unfortunately had, because I don't know why, maybe money and stuff, like who knows what the hell is going on in their milk-infested brain. And I'm not gonna specify which type of milk, you already know that. But yeah, they did that, and that's why the game is dying.
Mindset. We worry about what random strangers on the internet think about our DPS meter. We worry if our talent build is 1% suboptimal compared to what the top
True.
streamers use. But here's the reality check. Focusing on what other people think is the fastest way to kill your love for Azeroth.
Bam! He's right. Jesus Christ. Oh, wow, that scared the shit out of
Success
me.
isn't a number. Success
He's
is
right about
realizing
that.
you could play however you want. If you want to push
No, that's not true. That used to be true 20 years ago. Nowadays, that's not the case. And why is that? Because you're gonna be bullied into submission. And if you're not bullied into submission, you're gonna quit the game. Because the WoW player in retail currently is so goddamn toxic. If you do one thing wrong, they will let you know about it. And you are about to be sure. You can be sure of that. 100%. And it's so unfortunate, but again, they are the symptom. Blizzard is the disease.
high keys, go for it. You want to level up your 50th alt? Knock yourself out. If you just want to spend 4 hours farming a transmog from 2008, go nuts. But there's a bigger problem than just how we play. It's how we treat the people playing around us. Everyone has their own challenges. That guy doing 50k less DPS than you, maybe he's a dad who just got the kids to sleep and has an hour to play.
True, but who cares? Again, these are the type of people that Blizzard has cultivated during the years. Like, nobody cares that you have only 1 or 2 hours daily to play. They don't give a fuck. All they care about is an arbitrary number that goes up and fills some sort of a deranged meter they have. That's it. They don't care about anything else. It's all they have. You need to realize the only achievement the people who play retail WoW has is probably asking the waiter for a check at the restaurant. That's the only thing that they've done that scared them. Nothing else. They're so dumb. They can't even figure out how to play without covering 90% of the screen with random shit. They don't know how to do that. You wanna know what really killed the game? It's this. This screen right here killed the game. Look at that. You think this is okay? No mentally stable person would look at this and think this is a great game to play. No one. All of these markers, all of these bars, all of these cooldowns, the meters. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? This is so off-putting. No wonder nobody want to come into this game. A new guy comes into the game and people tells him he needs to download 7 different add-ons to actually start playing. It's so weird. This should never be the case. It's so bad. It is truly so bad.
Maybe he's returning from a 3-year
again, Blizzard does nothing against it. Nothing.
break. It doesn't make you better than him just because your numbers are higher. Don't be the gatekeeper. Be the key holder.
It's funny. He's trying to, appeal to the hearts of the average WoW enjoyer. Like, you're not gonna do that, Chief. I understand what you're doing here, and I think this is very generous and incredible of you to do, and actually go out and try to do that. You're not gonna reach everybody. You're not gonna reach anyone. Sorry, not everybody. You're not gonna reach anyone. The people who plays WoW are deranged. You can't convince them. They're lost. They're fanatics. Believe me, I tried. That's why I stopped covering World of Warcraft content. Because the players are so delusional. They cannot be convinced even if you line in front of them. Tons of facts and reasoning backed by players. They don't care. They can die with the game being held by literally China, okay? The only reason retail exists is because of China. And they don't care. They get to play their game. You can't beat them at their own game. You just need to let it rot and die. That's it. It has no way out. They have no way out. They're delusional. You can save them. Some people can be saved. I truly believe that. Some people can be saved.
To feel
retail Andes are lost.
Key holder, they open the door. If you've got a Raider IO score of, 2 to 3K, you find yourself in a pug with somebody who's got a score of, 1,000 or less, you have a choice. You can flame them in.
Why put score on people? This is so weird. By the way, guys, do you think, random question, item level has done more bad or good for the game? I really want you to tell me in the comments what do you think about that. I think it was good in some way, but it was also bad in like different way. I think it had done more bad than good. I don't think this stuff should be visible. I hate item level, really. If you think about it, like, it's not good.
Chat, ruin their night and make yourself feel big. Or you can whisper them and give them tips. Hey, on this boss, stand here so you don't get...
90% of the time, the player that want to give you tips will just yell them at you. The 8% of the times, they're just gonna not even speak the same language as you do. And the 2% of times, maybe they'll help you. Maybe there's one good Samaritan in World of Warcraft retail that would actually take the time to help another human being. But man... even 2% is generous.
Feared. Or better yet, if you see they're struggling, whisper them after the dungeon and just say, hey, offer help. Ask them if they want help. If they say yes, invite them to a group.
Dog, this ain't 2005. Nobody's gonna do that. The game isn't social anymore. Nobody's even talking. All they do is trade numbers. That's it. People don't gather around and meet up anymore. It doesn't happen within the game. It doesn't even happen in Classic. It's that crazy because retail players, obviously, whenever there's downtime in retail, they play Classic on the side. So as a Classic player, I can tell you, even in Classic, nobody talks with each other anymore. When you do a dungeon, it's just completely silent. You try to crack a joke, everyone tells you to shut the fuck up. And that's it. We just do the dungeon. We just blaze through it. And it got progressively worse. It was okay in vanilla, but in TBC it became much worse. I remember being laughed and ridiculed in TBC constantly for playing a rat paladin. People have literally told me, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want you in my party. You're not a DPS. That's what they told me. Even though I did skill switching and I did all of the stuff and my DPS was really good, the fact that I wasn't a warlock or a mage just made sure that I was basically outcasted. It's that bad. Like, believe it or not, it's that bad. They're this lost. You cannot save them. All they care about is numbers. They're delusional. They're unhinged.
Go run some follower dungeons or queue up for some M0s, just practice runs. Work them through the mechanics. Help them learn. Be the change. Be the good. Be the mentor you wish you had. Simple, helpful, human. Now,
Can you imagine a retail player watching this video? It's like, the urge to become good. Like, no.
that's the ideal. That's who we want to be.
But by the way, I appreciate what this guy is trying to do. He's trying to spread positivity. Like, shout outs to him. He's doing great.
Let's be real.
He's trying.
If you've played WoW or any sort of multiplayer online game for any period of time, you've probably
Look at that shit. Don't soak. Soak. Fuck.
multiplayer
What is that? What are you even playing? What are you doing here, man?
online game for any period of time.
Idiots.
You've probably experienced being griefed or had a toxic
Christ.
encounter with another player. Maybe you haven't. And that's freaking amazing. But you've read about the toxicity and elitism in all the forums. And it's got you not wanting to play simply because you don't want to have to deal with any of that. And
Absolutely.
that's totally understandable.
Good.
Why subject
Stay
yourself
away.
to nastiness when you don't have to? Well, there are ways to disarm and shut down the trolls so you can get back to what you came back to Azeroth to do. To have fun.
The only way is uninstalling the game. That is the only way to get rid of them. Literally that. The game is infested with them. Infested. You can't do anything.
First of all, while World of Warcraft is a MMORPG, you're not obligated to play with anyone else. There's enough content in World of Warcraft now that's...
Well, but Blizzard made sure that all the best content is the high tier stuff. You're not really having fun unless you're raiding on Mythic, at least in my opinion, because the story is dead, questing is garbage, and what else do you have? Dungeons? Even dungeons are competitive nowadays, so there is no incentive for you to play outside of raiding. Raiding is the only good thing this game still has left, and they are highly competitive. And you can do LFR, but I don't think that's fun. It's not. But maybe that just be me. I don't think like LFR is I don't know, LFR is still in the game. Guys, I kind of stopped following. I really hope it's not. But even like normal, okay? Like normals aren't fun. Like they're not fun.
specifically designed for solo play. You don't have to roll the dice for random groups if you don't want to. But even then, you walk into Orgrimmar or Stormwind and your chat is instantly filled with WTS plus 15 HOA carry PST.
Well, to be fair, it also happens in Classic.
Here's how you fix that. Hover over the General tab at the top of your chat window. Right click, go to Settings, and then in the new window, click on Channels. Uncheck anything you don't want in here. Personally, I turn off everything except local defense because it's always fun to know when Goldshire's getting ransacked. Once you've made your choices, close it out and be at peace. But you can take it a step further.
Ignore
Open your
everyone.
main menu, go to Options, and then Social.
Go to Battle.net, click on Settings, and uninstall. That is the best option. Trust me, guys.
In here, you're able to really fine-tune your settings. You can restrict things like trades, invites, guild invites.
Damn.
Or you can take the nuclear route and disable chat altogether. It's like turning off your cell phone and your Wi-Fi. Basically, it's like what life was like when I was in high school in the 90s. Absolutely awesome.
Well, what in God's name
But
is that?
if you don't want to set yourself back 30 years, that's okay. If you're still getting nasty grams from a mouth breather who's pissed at you because you didn't play the way he wanted you to play, there's a fix for that too. Ignore them. Just right-click on their portrait or on the name in chat.
And again, he's technically right, but you're about to ignore everyone. It's not one person. If that was a one-person thing, I would have told you you're absolutely right. But it's not. It's everyone. That's all the players that are left. That's the real problem.
Select ignore from the menu and poof, they cease to exist. I actually heard the guys at Azeroth Morning Radio talking about this similar topic the other day. And by the way, if you like my vibe, you need to check them out. They're fantastic. But they use the perfect analogy. Treat the toxic player like a road rager on the highway. You back off, give them space,
punch them in the face,
have their tantrum in their own car. And if you do feel the need to react, don't give them the middle finger. Instead, give them the old thumbs down. Confuses them.
But what do you do when you're stuck in traffic and everyone all around you is a road rager? What do you do then? That's the problem. That's the real issue he's not talking about. He's thinking about this from a singular perspective where it's one person, one or two persons, like one or two people, that do this constantly. And that's not the case. That's everyone. That's everyone.
Hell out of them and low-key destroy.
And don't be a smartass and tell me, no, that's not everyone. There's like this one guild. Like, okay, it's 90% of the people. Wow, you got me, Chief.
Their ego. The thing you got to remember, though, is just like your mom always used to say, just ignore it and it'll go away. All bullies, all trolls, all these mouth breathers, they need an audience.
Yeah, my grandma
You're
told
the
me
audience.
exactly this.
If you ignore it, they don't have their audience and they'll go someplace else. And always keep in mind that once you leave the pug and you hearth out, odds are you're never going to see that player again. There's a real good chance you won't even remember their name. And guess what? They're not going to remember you either. There are millions of players in this game, so there's bound to be some bad apples. But that doesn't mean the whole batch is rotten. So you can do your part to help keep everything
I beg
fresh
to
and
differ on
shiny
that one.
by being the good. Be the person Mr. Rogers always wanted you to be. Be neighborly. After all, like it or not, we have to share this world with everyone else. So if you're tired of the anxiety and just want a place to hang out with average players, having an above average amount of fun, make sure you subscribe to Wipe Club. We're built.
Damn. Okay, seems to be the end of the video. It was a good video. I appreciate what he was trying to do here. I'm going to leave a link in the description. You guys can watch this for yourself and give him a like and a sub. That being said, he is completely wrong, not with the things that he's saying, but the way he's approaching it. Like I said, he's approaching it from the perspective of it's only 1 or 2 players, and that's completely false, because that's almost everyone in the game. And the reason it's like this is because Blizzard had cultivated this type of crowd, and now the game is just infested with them. It's to the point where you can't even play Classic, like the example I gave earlier, and people will belittle you and just try to bully you into submission to choosing the top meta things for a game that was, you know, is 20 years old at this point. It's crazy, right? And I'm not talking about retail. I'm talking specifically about Classic because this is where I have the most experience recently. And yeah, even there, people are crazy. Like, they would literally not pick you for Heroic in TBC if you're not playing a Major Warlock. It's insane. It's insane. And if you play Vanilla and you want to tank as a Paladin, for example, it is possible. It's difficult, it's possible, but nobody would take you to any guild whatsoever. Because nobody want to have to deal with that. That's crazy. But again, these are the type of people that we have left in WoW. That's pretty much it. That's the real reason for why I quit the game too. It's so obnoxious and disgusting, I just couldn't play with them anymore. And it's so funny for me that as a WoW player, I started playing other MMOs. I recently started playing Where Winds Meet, which, oh my god, is phenomenal. But if you want a more traditional game that I play right now is Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 has the best community I've ever seen in a while, and they embraced me so much. And I'm not talking about the people in my comment section that started to become regular viewers. Of course, I thank them a lot, and they're fucking awesome. But I talk about the people I randomly meet inside of the game. They are incredible. All of them are super helpful. They're willing to engage with you, and they're just being hearty towards you. In WoW, you can ask for help and no one would come. The first answer that someone will give you is, bro, just check the wiki. That's it. No one would actively try to help you. Everyone will just tell you to Google the answer. That's it, because they're so brain rotted that all they do is look at graphs and meters and numbers and go to certain websites. It's so weird. It's so weird. They think they mastered some skill, but they're the masters of absolutely fucking nothing except degeneracy. That's it. And yeah, that's the real reason for why I quit the game. Regardless, it was a pretty great video, so I'm glad I watched it. It was fairly interesting.